8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn a hole in my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take it all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up. Hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
What up, everybody? It's been a minute. How y'all doing? And by the way, Testies, back at ya. So it's been a minute since we did the evening catch up, and or any stream at all. I was talking about originally to upload those cooking videos. I'm a procrastinator by nature. Put things off for a while, stuff like that. What up, Nugs? So it's been put off. Luckily, I am working on some things that I had wanted to do for a long time. For the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, I've been really working on getting some things done that I wanted to get done. So that's good. Your chat is not showing on the screen. It should. I mean, there is a delay. There is a little bit of a delay, but it's not too bad. But thanks for looking out. There's a lot of things on the OBS that I use to stream that's a little bit different because we've had to reorganize the computer a little bit, and we're actually going to be reorganizing the computer even more pretty soon. When did we say we were going to do that? Tomorrow? I don't remember, but anyway, we're going to be putting a new C drive in my computer, which means we have to get everything off that C drive, then remove the other drives from the computer, then put it in the new C drive, install Windows, and then slowly integrate everything back into it, which is going to really screw with my OBS settings, which really sucks. So there's that. I don't know, what have I been doing? We've been doing a lot of gardening. Me and Nugs went ahead and built a raised garden bed, which we thought was going to cost, what did we think it was going to cost? I forget. Like $200? $100? Anyway, it ended up costing us about $400.
We thought it was going to cost like 200.
Yeah. So it was like double. You're all moved? Well, that's good. Where do you... Well, you don't have to tell... What city? Shit. I don't know. Hit me up in Discord or some shit. Also, the camera is a little bit of a different of an angle. I kind of like it like this. I'm not looking directly at you. What? You moved into the same complex? Well, to be honest, me and Nugs, we're thinking there is a place that might be becoming available near us. It's another house to rent, but it's a house, and the price is less. I forget. It's almost double what we're paying now, but not quite, which is fine because we're not paying much. We could afford it easily, and the new place is right down. It's on the same damn street. It's like 3 houses down and on the other side of the street, but it's right on the same street. So if we do get that, the reason I'm even considering it, because I really don't want to move again unless it's in a house. However, the reason I'm considering it is it has a fenced-in backyard, great for the dog. It has more bedrooms, more room inside. The house that we live in, I've mentioned it, I don't know how many times, is a small house. Very small. I've had apartments much larger than this. So in order to get, to rent a house that's a little bit bigger with an actual backyard for the dog and all that, that'd be great. Same apartment complex, just 2 bedrooms, so I can have a there you go. There you go. You can have a studio. The house that we live in now is a 2-bedroom, but the other room is a like gun working, reloading room kind of thing / spare bedroom. We actually have a bed in it, so it's a little cramped in there. I would love to have that as a studio though, just for YouTube stuff or Twitch stuff or whatever stuff. That would be awesome. As far as where I've been spending my time at nights instead of doing the evening catch up, I've been working either on, well, lately I've been working on the Twitch side streams. That's for the last 3 days. But before that, me and Nugs, we were enjoying just husband and wife time. We were watching Dexter. I've never seen Dexter before, right? The TV show. And we had Amazon Prime, so we're like, let's watch some shows together, like, the old days. And we've really been enjoying that. And we're currently still enjoying that. So even though I want to stream on Twitch, and I still kind of want to stream here and do the evening catch-ups and stuff like that here and there, I still want to be able to do that. So I'm still trying to find my life balance. Not to mention the fact that I'm controversial on YouTube, so that sucks. My favorite YouTube. Wow. Oh, thanks, Armed Archangel. That's high praise, bro. I appreciate that. We are gonna try to make this more of a scheduled thing. Nugs was thinking maybe Wednesdays, right? Like the hump day hoedown. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a name for that. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Armed Archangel. How are you doing? What have you guys been up to? Now, Broken Patriot moved. Armed Archangel, it's been a few weeks. All right, how you been doing? How's the new year going for you? We're almost 1 month in. As far as what's going on in the world, I have been unplugged. I've watched a few Mark Dice videos here and there, and I've watched a few Fox News clips here and there, but I know I watched Tucker Carlson a few days ago, and he was talking about why it would be such a bad idea to invade or to go after Russia for the Ukraine, and how it was actually the U.S. trying to get Russia off of NATO Council. I think it was NATO Council. I could be totally wrong. By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, please. But this is what I remember from watching from the Tucker Carlson video, and how everybody was giving him shit over that, and how he was a Russian sympathizer and shit. Like crazy. You chilling? That's good. Growing a lot in the garden. We have a plot at the garden center, which is like a local city garden kind of thing, but you pay for it, but it's worth the money. It's not very much. It was definitely less than $400 to build my own raised bed, because they give you a raised bed. I think, how much is that membership to that garden center, Nugs? Anyway, that's what we've been doing. Canning, we got a good deal on Roma tomatoes this last weekend. It was a pound of Romas for 50 cents. So we got like 20 pounds and canned them all up. I bought another Optiplex tower and 2 more monitors. 2 PC, 4 monitor setup. Nice. Sweet. You're getting close to doing what my PC can do. I'm just giving you a little shit. The Garden Center membership is $5 a month. And you have to pay for a full growing season, which is how many months? Got banned from a few channels. Plus, I heard that idiot course. Oh, really? Here's the main one of the things I was thinking, like, dude, I need to get back onto YouTube, first of all, because we were doing the morning muster, but Irish has been really busy, so he hasn't been able to do it. And I'm like, I kind of bounced and took a break from YouTube right as that whole thing lit off. And so I'm like, I got to get back on to prove that I ain't scared. I didn't bounce because I'm worried about some cop in California who's going to come and teach me how cops are great. And I'm wrong about how there's no good cops out there. I have no idea how he's going to correct my way of thinking that there is no good cops. I'm very curious of that. Anyway, I'm over that shit, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that probably looks like I got scared and bounced. Dude knows where I'm at. He's a cop. You can find anybody on the internet. I know every one of y'all's first and last names and probably your addresses. Nugs is probably freaking Google mapped your house for all I know. Apparently, there are certain people in this world, I'm not one of them, but there are certain people in this world that take notes when meeting people. Irish, I hope I didn't overshare there. Irish has notes on people. Not bad notes, right? But, maybe it's to help his memory or whatever, because, he's had some head injuries, and I get it. I've never done that, and I probably should, because I always forget people's names. Bad. I'm really bad at that. Yeah, I know he is. He's full of shit. Plus, you have guns vouching for him. Oh, guns coast to coast. Well, that's a strange thing, right? I'm friends with Guns Coast to Coast. I think the world of Guns Coast to Coast. Don't ever tell me anything bad about Guns Coast to Coast, because I won't buy it. I've met the guy in person, and he's a great dude. He tries to think with an open mind, which is what I appreciate. He got mad at me for a comment that I left on his video, and I did not mean any disrespect in said comment. I just disagreed with him, right? And that's the problem with the world today, is you can't disagree with somebody and actually have a conversation with an open mind, thinking that maybe this person might change my mind. I don't know what it is, but apparently y'all get so like iron-willed that my way is the way. I learned it this way, so this is how it is. Anybody that disagrees with me is an idiot. Instead, try to keep an open mind and see it from their side, right? Why did Corsair Trainer think this? Or I used him as an example. I shouldn't have used him as an example, but why did Irish USMC vet think like this? You know, so I can go have that conversation with Irish. I might disagree with him on it. Sometimes we can come to an agreement. Most of the time you don't. However, at least you can get an understanding of why they believe that, because we all have our own thoughts on things. Not a damn one of us know anything about it. Shit, most of the time. Oh, what's this I see? Anonymous American hit us up in chat. What up, Anonymous? How you doing? Waves and a thumbs up. Thank you very much. We're just catching up. I will be doing this on a weekly basis at least. I haven't done a green dragon, even though I thought I was pretty sure I was going to do a green dragon. New place or room? Neither. It's the same room. It's just a different camera angle and 2 new posters that we put up in the wall. One of them is a Harry S. Thompson poster, which Predon would have liked that one. I know. Sorry, Hunter S. Thompson. I don't know if it's a painting from him or inspired by him, but Hunter S. Thompson. We found it at a smoke shop, and I was like, fuck it, that looks cool. I'll put that up on the wall. Why not? I'm beginning to wonder if Corsair is just talking shit to get more. No, I don't think he is. I think Corsair thinks that he's a great person and a wonderful human being, and is providing you with quality content, showing you how to make survival things. I think that, honestly, I think that it's what it is. But he's a police officer, which is fine. I know a lot of police officers. I've been a friend, I think, of a few here and there. Right? Yeah. So, just because I don't think there's any such thing as a good officer, and my friend officers, they're not close friends, but I mean, I've mentioned that before too. And they're like, nah, not everyone, man. There's bad eggs in every bunch, but majority are good. Okay. Agree to disagree. They didn't convince me. I didn't convince them. But we had the conversation. It ended I can never say that word. Admirably. And, I know how they think. They know how I think. And we moved on. Some people aren't like that. And the more time goes on, at least it seems like more and more people can't get past that you don't agree with them on something. Maybe not everything, right? Maybe if me and Corsair trainers had a talk about the best render settings for a YouTube video, we could disagree and agree, agree to disagree and see, oh, okay, well, I see why you do that, but, I think you're wrong. Okay, great. But because he's either probably wanted to be a cop his whole life or has been a cop most of his adult life, not only did he not agree with me, but he took it personally. Like I was attacking him personally. Never attacked him personally. Except for after the fact when I gave him a little shit for doing a video about a fucking sanitation bucket. Everybody's the hero of their own story. Yeah. Even on our side, dude. And it's rampant. It's rampant on all sides. And I've seen a lot of different groups of people, right? You go back to the Rubik's Cubes days, right? Didn't really associate with them too much, but then it went to Big Brother, it went to Survivor, it went to all these other shows that I was doing on YouTube, and it was a certain class of people. And you deal with those people, but those people are a different type of people than the YouTube gun community. When I switched genres from entertainment to firearms, I lost most of my subscribers. Some of them actually unsubscribed. Most didn't do anything. They just didn't watch anymore, right? And that's kind of where I started over. And my channel started to build from there. Because when I did the switch, I was about 8,000 subs. And so it went down to like 6,000 subs. And over like 5 years of doing gun videos, before YouTube really went after us, I was able to, get up to 12,000. And then you take a couple breaks from YouTube and, people forget about you. So that's on me. That's on me. I get burned out once in a while. So I apologize for that. People like confirmation of their views. Most try to convince others to agree. Meanwhile, I laugh my way to the bank as others' heads explode from my lack of craps given. Yeah, don't need approval. move past caring what people think. I have and I haven't. Like certain people, I don't care. But like I don't care what Corsair trainers thinks of me. But I will make sure that I don't leave the house with messy hair, or I'll put a hat on before I go outside. So I give a shit more about random strangers on the street than I do, most people that I know. What up, OMG? You are here. Me too, says Broken Patriot. Nice. Yeah, I've had great conversations with a lot. Of course, most of my OGs here. We've always had these kind of conversations. Shit, me and Mule Team. Oh my god, dude. You want to talk about fun times on the Green Dragon? I don't know if the videos are up or not, and you'd have to go through them, and they're hours and hours long. But just believe me when I say there have been many a time on the Green Dragon that me and Mule got into heated discussions where he gets to the point, and if you've ever watched Mule long enough, you know if he gets heated enough, nobody else gets a word in, right? Because all he's doing is yelling into his microphone. There's no way you stopping that. And there's been a couple times where that anger was directed at me for whatever I said. I don't even remember. We're still best friends, dude. I would gladly go and stand next to him if the shit ever did go off. Some people you can do that with, and some you can't. Vanity can be for self and not for others. Some people like to look nice in public doesn't mean it's for others' approval. Mine comes from a long life of being very self-conscious. I've been fat my entire life. I was made fun of in grade school all the way to high school. High school, I got a little bit of a reprieve because I went to a private school, so it was a little bit nicer class of people. There were still some mean people there, but it wasn't nearly that bad, and I look back on it with pretty fond memories. I don't remember much before high school, just so you know. So probably should go to a therapist and work that shit out, but I ain't got the money or the time for that shit. So it's like, whatever. I forget where I was going on that. Oh, it's the long history of being made fun of for the way I look, right? Being overweight. So I've always been self-conscious about that. And at my heaviest, I was like 525 pounds. Dude, I don't know if the pictures are in Discord. Nugs, can you move that folder for me, right? Yeah, you move that folder. If Nugs can remind me, I'll put that photo on Discord. I don't know, in the general, I guess, of me at 550 pounds. And I didn't leave the house. I couldn't get from the living room to the bedroom without losing breath. Cleaning yourself after using the restroom becomes very difficult because your arms can't reach. It's bad. It's very embarrassing, right? And at that time, I was living in Wisconsin, and in every winter, sure enough, I'd fall and slip on ice. I had broken so many things. I landed face first on a sidewalk from like 2 steps up. That was a horrible experience. And then the worst one, which wasn't the most painful, but it was the most embarrassing, is, I'm around 500 pounds. And we're going out to eat at a restaurant. It's fast food. I don't even remember the restaurant, but we're going in there to eat fast food. I get out of the car and I slip on the ice, and I'm in their parking lot. Parking lot's flat, sheet of ice the entire way, and I can't get up like normal people get up. I can't do the one knee or put one leg, up and then kind of just lift yourself with your quad. I can't do that. I'm 500 pounds, dude. My quads aren't that strong. So I have to get up kind of like a 4-point stance, right? Meanwhile, it's slick as shit, and I'm flopping around on the ice like a big old whale in front of a fast food restaurant, in front of everybody that's out there, trying to get my fat ass up. Eventually did, thank God. But so it's these kind of things that have been, my entire life that kind of got to me. I've worked through that shit, right? And now that I'm less heavy, it's nice, but it's still, it's still ingrained. It's been with me the entire time, so it's one of those things. Cool. Doctor put me on another heart med. Shit, dude. You gotta stop drinking that coffee and smoking cigarettes. How many is that now? 9? Working on a project. We'll listen. All right, Armed Dark Angel. We're gonna talk about the news a little bit here in a second. Dang, that's a heavy weight, my man. Yep. I think last time I haven't weighed myself in a while, probably over a week, but the last time I weighed myself, it was like 244. 244. Tell you what, losing the weight helps get your heart in shape too. But who knows? As I said, losing the weight didn't help. I have the heart condition, right? There's no curing it. It is what it is, right? There is going to kill me. Luckily, the medication they have will keep me alive, they say, for about 20 years. And my doctor is convinced that they're going to find a cure for it way before I need it. And after 20 years, then I can be put on, well, not after 20 years, but once I get to a certain point, they'll put me on a transplant list for lungs. And then if I get the lung transplant and it takes, and I live through that, then I'm technically cured of pulmonary hypertension. However, now I have to worry about my body rejecting the lungs at any minute for the rest of my life. And when it does, that's it. That's it. It's done. Down to 290 from 320. Nice, dude. Keep it up. It's hard. It's hard even for me. I have been very slow to lose the weight lately. My body is fighting it every single way. And your body will do that too. It actually likes to have a normal. And as soon as you go, you'll find that you'll lose some weight and then you'll hit a wall and you won't lose any weight for a while. That is normal for everybody. It even happens to me with the bariatric surgery. Your body's like, fuck you. What the hell is this? I'm stopping. I'm shutting everything down. It makes you tired. It makes you more hungry. The whole bit. It is like starvation mode engage. We have to eat. And that's why it was so hard. I lost like 100 pounds when I was at 525 just from switching from regular soda to diet within like a year. And then it took me, before I got the surgery, I was like 370, 380, right? So it took me damn near 15 years to get from 525, or well, let's say 450 down to, it'd been up and down all that time. I'd gotten as low as 330 on my own. And then I got an injury and I went up to 420. So, what up, Gerald? How you doing, Gerald? What have you been doing since we've been gone? Anyway, let's get over to the stories. I don't want to spend too much time on them, but ooh, that didn't work.
Anonymous was asking what happened and why you weren't streaming. I guess he missed the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already told people before. Oh, I guess I didn't see that chat. Sorry. Oh yeah, why you not been doing these? Too much flack or burnout? A little bit of both. Let's see. You've been missing the beginning. I'm 6 foot, 175-ish. I hike with a pack a lot and a gym in my garage. That would be nice. I would love to have a gym in my, well, I don't have a garage. I'd love to have a garage. I'm one of the few veterans who didn't balloon up. That's good. I'd like to stay fit for my kids, but I do smoke, so that's not helping. Yeah, I get this. I smoked. I was smoking that whole time. I didn't quit smoking until, I don't know, 10 years ago. All right, so I'd smoked from the age of 18 until at least 36. So like 20 years being that heavy and a smoker. It's not a great thing. I'm glad I quit. All right. So the reason I haven't been streaming, for one, yeah, when I stream, YouTube, it don't like me no more. Okay, when they took away my main channel, that really sucked. Right? I had already backed up most of the videos I needed on it and all that. But, you know, it's just the point of it. I had spent so much time and years into that, for it to all be taken away, it just pissed me off. All right, there we go. That's better, I think. Yeah. And then me and Nugs have been spending time together, right? We've been watching TV shows, and well, as I said at the beginning, we have Amazon Prime, not just for shows, but we have it for, you know, having Amazon. And so we're like, let's see what, you know, they got shows, right? We got Amazon Prime anyway. Might as well see what kind of shows they have on. Maybe we can watch something decent. You know, what do we do now that we're not doing the evening catch up? And so we started doing that, and I have been enjoying it. Now I do want to continue doing chats. We're going to do at least once a week. We're thinking Wednesdays right now, but I'm not locked into it. But yeah. Okay. After Biden okayed Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, I know this has been in the media that we were talking about in, you know, hitting Russia, but that sounds to, and it just sounds to me from first glance that we're letting Russia go. We're allowing this. But then U.S. puts 8,500 troops on heightened alert. Okay, well, that's a really good photo. Should have made that my thumbnail. After stumbling through a press conference where he seemed to be lighting a Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Biden has now directed the Pentagon to put about 8,500 U.S.-based troops on heightened alert for potential deployment to Europe to reassure allies. No final decisions have been made on any deployments, which he said would only happen if the NATO alliance decides to activate a rapid response force or if other situations develop in connection with tensions over Russian military buildup along Ukraine. Okay. Recommended to Biden that, we always said we would reinforce our allies on the eastern flank, and those conversations and discussion have certainly been a part of what our national security officials have been discussing with their counterparts now for several weeks. I don't know. Has the shooting started? Did the shooting start? Paramount Plus has 1,883 great series, and Peacock has Yellowstone. You know what? So I've watched a little Yellowstone, just a little bit. We do not have cable. We have not had cable in a very long time. But we do have Amazon Prime. We do have Netflix right now. And we used to have some of the other things. However, I never even heard of Yellowstone until we started going over to our neighbor's house for Sunday nights, game night / movie night. And she would have Yellowstone on because and they were playing like marathons all the damn time. And so, Nugs and her are talking, and I ain't got nothing to talk about. So I'm kind of watching it half-assed, and I'm like getting into it and shit. I'm like, okay, I got to start watching this show, but it's not on any of the platforms that I have. So I'm going to have to find it. Knight Riders on Netflix. Really? Cool. There's a lot of Knight Riders, though. Of course, the original was the only one I ever liked. Brenda says hi. Well, hi back, Brenda. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm sorry it was so long away. I did want to come. I did want to do a Green Dragon last Friday, but I didn't. And then I have been thinking about doing this again for a while. And I do want to do this at least once a week. But I think that's all I got in me, to be honest. Anything more than that, maybe if I do the Dragon, that would be 2 times a week. I think that would be pushing it. That'd be it right there. Okay. No special airlift evacuations for anti-communist Ukrainians. I mean, it looks like the shooting started to me. Warning of an imminent Russian invasion of Ukraine. State Department officials admitted in a call with reporters that the U.S. would not be in a position to evacuate U.S. citizens in the event of a Russian invasion, and citizens should plan on evacuating by a commercial flight. Wow. That's a little bit better for me. As Biden said, military action by Russia could come at any time. United States government will not be in a position to evacuate U.S. citizens. And let's see, or if you didn't know about that, just look at Afghanistan. For Americans, the prelude to possible war with Russia is a reminiscent to the botched evacuation of U.S. citizens from Afghanistan. Yep. You're on your own. The embassy in Kabul at the time put out a statement on the internet that it could not guarantee safe passage for U.S. citizens to the international airport there. Instead, citizens were requested to fill out a form online to request assistance returning to the United States. Afghanistan is lost. Every terrorist around the world is cheering, Mitch McConnell told reporters in his home state of Kentucky. State Department warned U.S. citizens not to travel to Ukraine and issued orders to evacuate the families of the U.S. Embassy personnel from the country, while embassies will remain open for the time being. Prudent. Love that word. All right. So that's my stories about the Ukraine. You guys got anything different? It's the original show? Yeah. Well, she never watched it before? Has she ever watched Fantasy Island? Because that's one to binge. The Love Boat? Bro, I've seen, well, it's been so long since I've even seen it. We might as well binge The Love Boat. I used to watch that even though I'd watched the rerun before. I used to love that shit. Ukraine. It's funny. Borders. We don't got to respect borders. Borders are horrible. We should have open borders. Oh, Russia is going after the Ukraine? We got to protect the Ukraine borders. Anybody else see that Tucker Carlson clip or full episode where he was talking about how it's not because we're protecting the Ukraine as much as we want to get Russia off the table of NATO, I think it is. She's only 35. Your wife? Yeah. Well, if she hasn't seen The Love Boat, there you go. I didn't ask your wife's age. I know better than that. Washington State worksters find more news. They find more words to ban. Household words. University of Washington Information Technology Department released an inclusive language guide outlining problematic terms and providing alternate terminology. According to the university's problematic terminology includes words that are racist, sexist, ageist, ableist, homophobic, or otherwise non-inclusive. The list includes commonly used words that one would say every day. According to the report, dozens of people throughout the department use nefarious words such as grandfather, housekeeping, lame. Oh, come on, lame? I bet you that's ableist? I bet you that's ableist. And cakewalk, also ableist most likely, among the problematic words. IT committee deemed that the term grandfather to be problematic because it was used as a way to exempt some people from a change because of conditions that existed before the change. What? And also because the idea originated in the American South. Well, I would have thought it would have been because of the patriarchy, not because some weird thing. The IT experts exercising historical expertise claims that the term was contrived as a way to defy the 15th Amendment and prevent black Americans from voting. Grandfather? Oh, the grandfather clause kind of thing? Is that what we're talking about? The guide asked that legacy or exempt be used in place. He's not my grandfather anymore. He's my legacy. That sounds like a grandfather saying that to their grandson or granddaughter. They also found the term housekeeping to be problematic. When Russia makes its move, China will make its move on Taiwan. Exactly. You're going to make Russia and China team up. And in that same Tucker Carlson thing, he's like, and then what happens when they both like, you know what? We don't need the U.S. currency. Boom. Devaluation of the U.S. dollar. Boom. No longer the world currency. You want to know? And then he goes on to say in that report that as soon as America is no longer the world's currency, we're going to get really poor really quick. It's another reason why we've been prepping so hard. Like 50. I wish we could grow more. Hence why we're trying to grow a lot of food and making grow beds and all that shit. But yeah, it's gonna be bad. I think that's our real threat. Our real threat right now is probably the world, saying, fuck you, U.S. We're no longer seeing your currency as the world currency. And then we become poor. And what are we going to do about it? Most likely, we're going to go to war. It's usually what happens about it. Did you hear what Cruz said about the No, I did not. You have a link? Russia, China, and Iran are in an alliance pact, the largest standing army of allies in the world. Yep. Even if we took on China by themselves, that would be difficult. Russia, maybe not as bad, but Russia, China, and Iran, where did you pit the grow bit? Right by the garden that we already had. It's just 8 foot by 4 foot for $400. Oh, that one hurt. I'm never doing that again. All right. Ted Cruz and 6. Let's see what we got. Writers who assaulted police should go to jail for a very long time. Is that what he said? Oh, how many? Yeah, I remember this. How many FBI agents were confidential informants? I did hear about that. That was amazing. 13 days ago.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Blumenthal. Senator Cruz.
I wonder
Thank you,
if it's
Mr.
at the
Chairman.
beginning.
Mr. Olson, how many people have been charged with crimes of violence in connection with the events on January 6th?
Senator, I'm not sure exactly how many have been charged with crimes of violence. I know that there are many.
Okay, how many have been charged with nonviolent crimes?
I don't have the numbers of people charged, whether at the state or federal level. I know that
Okay,
there have
how many people are currently incarcerated concerning the events of January 6th?
I don't know the number of people
Wow, that's an
incarcerated.
easy
Again,
question.
I know that I
How
do
many?
have,
Okay, let me ask you that. Look, we've limited time, so I don't want you to filibuster. You either know the answer or you don't. How many people have been placed in solitary confinement concerning the events of January 6th?
I don't have any information about that, Senator.
You know, Mr. Olson, I will say it was sad. Senator Lee just asked you about this. Back in June of 2021, Senator Lee and I and two other senators sent a
This is not the right clip then, right? Let's do... All right.
So we played this tape for you last night. We were surprised by it. We prefaced it by saying every conservative appreciates Ted Cruz because he's one of the smartest and most articulate people in the Congress, and he's conservative. But he referred publicly to what happened on January 6th as, quote, a violent terror attack. Here it is.
I see.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage, incredible bravery, risk their lives to defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol.
Senator Cruz was game enough to come on tonight. We appreciate that. He joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. So I guess there are a lot of dumb people
he's
in the
actually
Congress.
on the
You're
show.
not one of them.
This is going to be
Smarter than I
good.
am.
Thank you very much
and
for
you
this
never
one,
use
Broken
words carelessly. And yet you called this a terror attack when by no definition was it a terror attack. That's a lie. You told that lie on purpose, and I'm wondering why you did.
Well, Tucker, thank you for having me on. When you
course.
aired your episode last night, I sent you a text shortly thereafter and said, listen, I'd like to go on because the way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy.
So this is
and
him
it was
trying to
frankly
walk it
dumb.
back?
I don't buy that. Whoa. I don't buy that. Look, I've known you a long time, since before you went to the Senate. You were a Supreme Court contender. You take words as seriously as any man who's ever served in the Senate. And every word you repeated that phrase. I do not believe that you used that accidentally. I just don't.
So, Tucker, as a result of my sloppy phrasing, it's caused a lot of people to misunderstand what I meant. Let me tell you what I meant to say. What I was referring to are the limited number of people who engaged in violent attacks against police officers. Now, I think you and I both agree that if you assault a police officer, you should go to jail. That's who I was talking about.
think
And
if
the
you
reason the
assault
phrasing was
anybody,
sloppy is I
should
have
go to
talked
jail.
dozens, if not
That's what I would like right there. If you assault anybody, you should go to jail. You should think things like that. Right? Words are important, correct? You get more time if it's a hate crime. Doesn't matter. I'm not even going to say the races, right? Just one race kills another race, and because he didn't like that race, it's a hate crime. Now he gets extra time. I don't agree with it. Every crime that involves something like that would be considered a hate crime, it's still a crime. Just because, and it's hate. It's you don't kill somebody. I love you so much, I'm gonna shoot you in the face, motherfucker. You don't do that. Of course you hate them.
hundreds of times. I've drawn a distinction. I wasn't saying that the thousands of peaceful protesters supporting Donald Trump are somehow terrorists. I wasn't saying the millions of patriots across the country supporting President Trump are terrorists, and that's what a lot of people have misunderstood that comment.
Wait a second, but wait, but hold on. What you just said doesn't make sense. So if somebody assaults a cop, he should be charged and go to jail. I couldn't agree more. We have said that for years. But that person's still not a terrorist. How many people have been charged with terrorism on January 6th? Like, why'd you use that word? You're playing into the other side's characterization that, as Joe Kent just explained, allows them to define an entire population as foreign combatants. And you know that. So why'd you do it?
So Tucker, let me answer you directly. The reason I use that word, for a decade, I have referred to people who violently assault police officers as terrorists. I've done so over and over and over again. If you look at all the assaults we've seen across the country, I've called that terrorism over and over again.
So an attack on a police officer, and this is a common thing. A lot of people believe that an attack on a police officer is an attack on society, and therefore it should be held to a higher standard because you're attacking our whole civilization when you attack a police officer. Because without police officers, we would crumble back into an unruly anarchist mob, and it, all would go to hell. Ron DeSantis, Tucker Carlson, 2020. I don't know about Ted. I've been back and forth on Ted Cruz a lot. Do I get on him for this? I think he's stupid for. If it was a mistake, it was a really bad one. He's definitely trying to walk it back now. I don't know.
That being said, Tucker, I agree with you. It was a mistake to say that yesterday, and the reason is what you just said, which is we've now had a year of Democrats in the media twisting words and trying to say that all of us are terrorists, trying to say you're a terrorist, I'm a terrorist.
So stop using the damn word.
I don't like people who assault cops, and I stand up and defend cops, and the reason I use that word is that's the word I've always...
Well, that's a good point, Anonymous. Terrorism is attacking someone with the intent to terrorize a population, to sway people to follow your view through threat of violence. I suppose if there was a person or a group of people going after police officers on a regular basis to try to collapse society, yeah, that would be terrorism, right? I would think that the people that attacked the police officer there, I don't know. Or are they trying to convince the police officer or anybody watching to go with their way of thinking? Not to mention, I don't even buy that it was our side that did it in the first place. There was a lot of Antifa plants. Yeah, I know, Nugs. We already an unruly mob. And that's the thing, you got was it the Justice Department looking into moms and dads who go to PTA conferences and complain. And I learned something about this. I don't know if it was while I was still doing the catch-up or not, so I'm going to say the story just in case. I don't know if you guys know this, but what was it? What was I going to say? Shit. What was I talking about, Nugs? I already forgot it. Yeah, so the FBI, well, there was a report from this this school. I don't remember which school started it, right? But apparently a school had requested that somebody look into these parents coming to the PTA being unruly because they were feeling threatened. That's the letter supposedly that goes to the FBI or the Department of Justice, whoever, right? And then we find out about all this, and we see that yes, FBI are actually going to parents' houses and getting on their case for voicing their opinion at a parent-teacher conference. Some of them were unruly, but even the unruly ones were just yelling. They weren't actually throwing anything or committing any violence or making any threats, right? They were just mad and saying your job's on the line kind of thing. Maybe threatening their job, right? Well, it turns out this school got so much shit for this that I don't know if it was them or somebody else, but it turned out that the FBI, or not, I don't know if it was the FBI or what agency it was, but somebody in the government agency actually told them to request their help for the parents at the PTAs, is what I've been led to believe. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know, but I think that's what that is. Look up tourism. It's to force people. Yeah. Well, what it means in the dictionary don't mean a damn thing today.
Always used for people that violently attack cops. But in this context, I get why people were angry, because we've had a year of the corrupt corporate media and Democrats claiming anyone who objected to the election fraud. And by the way, remember what was happening?
The Republicans.
Wait. Can I ask? Hold on. You work in the. I guess I just don't believe you, and I mean that with respect, because I have such respect for your acuity and your precision, and I've seen it on display. I've covered you as a reporter. I know how you speak. And you have sat there for a year and watched people use language to distort the events of that day. Intentionally. Insurrection. Coup.
Of course it
terrorism.
wasn't an insurrection. Saying it's an insurrection is a political term. It's a lie. I've repeatedly denounced it. And when it comes to, look, I was focusing on what I normally say. That what you aired was a little 15-second snippet. What I normally say is violence is wrong, peaceful protest is right. If you engage in violence, you should be prosecuted. If you're speaking, you have a right to speak. I say that all the time.
Well, I
didn't
and I
say
agree.
In that snippet.
So who's Ray Epps, by the way, since you are a senator? Like, he and this other guy are clearly encouraging the crowd to commit crimes. Neither one has been arrested or charged. What is that?
Really? What is that?
So I think that is a very good question. I don't know who Ray Epps is. I've seen that video multiple times. It's disturbing. He's clearly urging the crowd to violate the law.
Yeah,
you see the crowd
that guy.
start chanting, fed. For him to appear on the FBI's most wanted list and come off, it certainly suggests he was working for the FBI. That's not conclusive, but that's the obvious implication. And the Attorney General and the Department of Justice won't answer the question. Tucker, I can tell you, I joined with a number of other senators trying to get the Biden DOJ to answer the question why so many January 6 prisoners are in solitary confinement, why they're being treated so much worse than the Antifa rioters and the people who committed firebombing and a...
Because those people that are still in jail right now are the ones they're really worried about. They're not worried about Antifa. Antifa wants chaos. They don't know what they want. They all want their own version of paradise. And if they actually ever achieved it, it would implode almost immediately because there'd be infighting, and this person's not as woke as I am, and this person doesn't believe in as many genders as I do, and it just all implode. But freedom, that's Americana. We were built on rebellion. And I think they have... That's the true threat to their power. They're not worried about Antifa. Antifa will never get big enough to do a damn thing that worries them. But when you have at least close to 50% of the country voting for one guy and he lost, and then maybe 30% of that crew, 30% of that group, I would imagine, pretty sure things didn't go down on November the way they say they went down. I'm not saying if it did or not. I'm just saying about my estimation, my guess is about 30% of those who voted for Trump probably think something nefarious happened. That's a big number. Ask people that aren't, in your inner circle that are, voted for Trump or whatever. They got a Trump sticker. Hey, what do you think of that? Was it on board? See what he says. I would say it's about at least 30%. 30% of the people who voted for Trump is a large number. Yeah, I'd be worried about that. They're all armed. Most of them, I would say 99% of those people are definitely fucking armed. Every one of them wants freedom. Yeah. You can't have that. Because there wouldn't be as much of an implosion with that. Because every one of those people at least respect the Constitution at some level. Maybe they want to change a couple things, but at the core, constitutionalist. That's something to fight for. That's the goal. That's the structure, right? Antifa don't have that. Antifa will implode. Anyway, sorry I went on a tirade. It's been a while. Ooh, did I miss a lot of chat? Yeah. Nowhere does it say people can't get loud and mad at schools. Yeah, they just don't like it. And yet they still went after them. At this point, man, we're all on the res. I didn't see anyone attack cops. I did see some videos. I did see some videos of some cops getting beat down. Finally. I say cops opening doors for people. I saw cops opening doors for people. I saw that too. Calling out Ray Epps. They know him. He's working for Nancy. Ted hasn't done shit for those. Yeah. If they get voted in and don't immediately release every single one of them, it's just another lie. I just want my grandkids to be able to play in their front yards without being snatched up. Move them kids to the country, BP. I say it in all states who change their voting laws 2 weeks out. All turn from red to blue. Yep. Yeah, I ain't going to read all that just because,
Year of riots across the country, and this Biden DOJ won't go after them. But let me also make a quick point, Tucker. Remember, while thousands of people were standing up to defend this country on January 6th, at that exact moment, I was standing on the Senate floor objecting to the election results, demanding that we impanel an election commission to consider evidence of voter fraud. And I brought together 11 senators to join me in supporting getting to the bottom of that. So, of course, it would be ridiculous for me to be saying that the people standing up and protesting to follow the law were somehow terrorists. I was talking about people who commit violence against cops. And you and I both agree, if you commit violence against cops, you should go to jail.
Yeah, but you're not a terrorist. You're not. You're a guy who assaulted a cop. Okay, so there's a legal difference, as you well know better than I do, since you were actually in the running for the Supreme Court. And there's a moral difference between a guy,
but Tucker, the reason I use that word is for a decade I've used that word for people that violently assault cops. I use that word all in 2020 for the Antifa and BLM terrorists that assaulted cops and firebombed police cars. But I agree, it was a mistake to use the word yesterday because the Democrats and the corporate media have so politicized it. They're trying to paint everyone as a terrorist, and it's a lie. Exactly. And by the way, I've spoken out vocally against your exchange you just had. They want to paint us as Nazis. Yes,
I know, it's scary.
That is what they're trying to do. And look, I'm the one leading the fight in the Senate against this garbage. And it's what I have been doing, and it's what I'll continue doing.
Well, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you very much, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Interesting. All right, that was just there. What do we do? Oh yeah, the woke words. Let's find out what other woke words we can't use anymore. I'm just gonna go over them quick. Housekeeping. The guide claims must be replaced because people can feel gendered because it carries a fraught history and connotation of women's traditional domestic roles. So housekeeping is bad because most people think it's a woman. Assume. What I assume, because I might assume it means it's bad for everybody. We could put in maintenance or cleanup. Let's see, according to the IT specialists, the terms created by the left aren't even far enough. They list preferred pronouns as problematic. What are your preferred pronouns is no longer acceptable. Because preferred suggests that a person's pronoun is optional. You could be a man or you could be a woman. Just because you think you can make that choice doesn't mean you really can. Right? Just because I'm gay now and I'm trans. I'm a gay trans right now. I don't have to prove it. You don't have to see me do anything. And now I'm super protected. I'm part of the cool club. My preferred pronouns are she, her. Is that what it takes? That's the easiest damn minority club to get into I've ever heard of. Lame is considered offensive. Even when it's used for being uncool because it's disability. Yep. Let's see. Where is it? Negative wide and play the opposite, which would not be lame to be superior. This is considered ableist. Yeah. So there you go. All the words you can't use anymore. 6 retired Navy SEALs launch congressional bids to stop Pelosi. Anybody heard of this one? Is it anything to pay attention to? Is it just more bullshit? I heard Cruz's daughter announce on her Instagram that she is a switch hitter. Nice. What up, Jupiter 5? How you doing? It's been a minute. By the way, since I think you're just joining, unless I missed one of your chats or didn't acknowledge it was you earlier. I do plan on doing more of these at least once a week on this channel and maybe once a week on the Green Dragon. That's what I'm looking at doing. I'm thinking Wednesdays, but check the Discord for any updates on that. Probably not this Wednesday because I just did this one tonight. And I'm going to be training for a possible new job. That's exciting. They all turned their backs on the vote protest because people walked in federal building with permission. Then the Republicans tucked their dicks and abandoned the... Yeah, those people should have never been in... that is so upsetting. It's so upsetting. Was this 30 seconds?
They took a blood oath to protect America. They understand that the only easy day was yesterday. They know that our enemies are no match for their strength and their courage. These former Navy SEALs have protected America from enemies all over the world.
I love the nuts.
Now they have one grave threat left.
It's actually Sack.
Join them.
Wow. How'd you get that past YouTube? See, they're launching a separate bid for Congress. Okay, 6 retired Navy SEALs are launching separate bids for Congress with one goal in mind, taking away power from House Speaker Pelosi. Okay, so they're running for office. In a new ad, the 6 SEALs, which include Morgan Luttrell in Texas 8th Congressional District, Brady Duke from Florida 7th, Eli Crane for Arizona 2nd. We'll have to remember that, Nugs. And Derek Van Orden for Wisconsin's 3rd, Ed Thielander for Maine's 1st District, and Ryan Zink for Montana's 1st. Said the one grave threat they still have to face is Pelosi. took a blood oath to protect America, and the ad's narrator says they understand that the only easy day was yesterday. Yeah, we saw the ad. That's cool. Good luck to them. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I do want to touch on this. Homeschooling mom warns medical or MD officials it's scalp taking time over vax pass. Don't know much about this. Angry business owners blasted Montgomery County Council in Maryland over its proposal to decree vaccine passports be required to enter bars, restaurants, recreation centers, and gyms. And while business owners were accurate in their concerns that such a draconian measure would force customers' cost increase across the board and damage the bottom line of their business, Bethany Mandel delivered an equally damning warning. I'm not going to read what she says. We're going to watch what she says because I was watching a little bit of it and I'm like, I like her. What up, Uniquely Amanda? How are you doing? Well, I thought I would say hello. Saw Zeus post about, wow, thank you, Zeus. I don't know if Zeus is in the chat tonight, but I appreciate it. I hope Ron DeSantis runs with a side of Candace Owens. I haven't researched Ron DeSantis enough to know if I like him. You know what I mean? I got to pass him a note. Check yes or no. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. Hopefully you like it. Let's go ahead and watch this little clip.
Thank you. So everyone here is going to tell you why this is bad for businesses and for residents. I'm here to tell you why this is bad for you as politicians. This is going to be the end of your cushy government bureaucratic careers. Here's the thing. The seats for this council are up for a primary vote in June. That's the deciding election in this county. An election the only truly motivated people bother to vote in during off-election years. Unfortunately for you, you've made us care, and we've filled these speaking slots within 3 minutes of them opening. For those of you who are facing term limits, we're coming for your seats. For those of you who plan to run again, we're coming for yours. This resolution is the final straw for a number of businesses, groups, and individuals in this county who have seen you come close to destroying everything they've built. They're willing to put money behind getting a council who won't try to bankrupt them and, by extension, the county. If you're a business or individual looking to make change, contact me. And if you're interested in running for one of these seats, contact me too. We started contacting lawyers about a legal challenge to this poorly thought out law if you pass it. The SCOTUS just knocked down the OSHA mandate. Do you want the black guy involved in national attention on this amateur attempt at lawmaking? They'll ask you, who's responsible for determining exemptions? Why require a 5-year-old to be vaccinated for an indoor playground but not require them in senior centers? It's a joke, but so are you. Ooh. What's the objective here? The vaccine doesn't stop transmission. The county is already one of the most vaccinated in the country. I'm going to be in so much trouble. The burden is on you to prove that this is necessary, and it's not. Get back to doing what you do best, passing meaningless statements of support for made-up holidays. Go to cut some ribbons outside shopping malls. Go talk to a disgruntled resident about sidewalks or bike lanes. Or better yet, deal with the astronomical increase in crime in this county instead of putting police resources towards enforcing a vaccine mandate. Before we have a vaccine mandate version of Eric Garner. This kind of mandate is wholly inappropriate and not within your job descriptions, even if you call yourself the Board of Health. You're unskilled bureaucrats and nothing more. Stay in your lane.
Ooh.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms.
I liked it. That was pretty good. Thanks. Maine's first is all libs, and all libs. It's the second that vote Republican. Well, I think that's what they're doing, though. Isn't that the whole reason to take down Pelosi is to have Navy SEALs, right? Like, you remember what, some of us, not me, but, people in my crew, you remember what we did to Bin Laden? I'm a Navy SEAL. That's exactly what that is. They're hoping to get those Democratic votes just for the fact that they're a Navy SEAL. And people will remember Navy SEALs took out Bin Laden. It might work. What up, Irish? How you doing? So instead of a gay and lesbian, we have to say dick eater or pussy eater. I'm so confused. Really? Yeah. Is that a new term? I haven't caught that one yet. Let's see. DC Karen freaks out over anti-protests. Stop invading our territory. Watch an unhinged woman scream obscenities at those attending the Defeat the Mandate rally in Washington, D.C. speaking of that, yeah, the main mandate, OSHA mandate, I guess it was, that got struck down. So that's, you know, for some people, that's great news. For others, maybe not so much. I don't know where you are, but I know where I'm at, and I ain't going to tell you. However, there are still businesses, even though they're not government contracted, there are still businesses that are going to require it. They have decided that, you know what, even though the government is not going to be able to do it, we're going to do it as a private company. Interesting. Sounds good to me, Irish. So, yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, she has grandmother, I think, or something here on her on her wagon here. Let's watch it. Okay, that was worth it. I like that. It's hilarious. And it's only going to get worse. You got people that are like that, and people on our side as well. Don't leave our side out of it either. We have our fair share. And media's fanning the flames on both sides. Where is it going to pop? At some point it's going to. Who's going to bring it down? Who's going to call for calm? Nobody's calling for calm. Anybody who could call for calm that would actually make a difference, they'll never see the light of day. That's why we haven't had anybody like Martin Luther King Jr. ever since. Yeah. In fact, I think the whole it was DC Karen is what her name is. Let's see. Thousands protested the mandate over the weekend during a rally. The incursion to a safe space. Yeah. My tax dollars are going to the police to shut down the road so that these fucking white supremacists can party and have a hell of a time celebrating their loser president. There's some sort of like great merch ideas here. I mean, these are bumper stickers. I could use this quote right here from her, put that on a bumper sticker. Probably I'd get accused of not liking immigration, unfortunately, though. Anyway, Mark Ellis, bipartisan compromise on voting reform worse than none at all. Democrats election lawyer Mark Ellis endorsed an article on Twitter that said bipartisan voting reform is worse than nothing because it would give Republicans everything and leave Americans' democracy in crisis. Oh, no, that's horrible. The column, Beware Sham Voter Protection, warned Democrats to oppose revisions to the 1877 Electoral Count Act and instead pursue a federal takeover of elections guaranteeing the franchise. Reconstruction Era Act outlines the method by which Congress and the Vice President count electoral votes. Both Democrats and Republicans want to change the bill's language to ensure that the Vice President has no discretionary judgment. That should tell you that they were worried that Pence actually might not certify the election. Wow. So ensure that the Vice President has no discretionary judgment about which electors to accept, which to discard, and which to remain to the states for further clarification or verification. The column's author, Robert Kuttner, criticized fellow leftist Matt, not even going to try, who modestly lauded the proposed reform. ECA reform is good on the merits. It won't fix America's political institutions or save democracy, but it will reduce the odds of a collapse, and reducing those odds is important. Is this that kind of thing? Passing and signing bipartisan bills also tend to be at least a little bit popular and make the president who's doing it look good. All right. So they got something through, I guess, and the Democrats don't like it. Well, if the Democrats don't like it and the Republicans don't like it, that means it was probably a bipartisan deal. No, you now have to call all Karen's cunts to be PC. I will do my best to serve. Biden's going to blame the Fed chair for the coming red wave. Why? Because of inflation? Hold on, we're over time. I'm just going to check. It's the Federal Reserve's fault. Critical job of making sure elevated prices don't become entrenched rests with the Federal Reserve, which has a dual mandate: full employment and stable prices, explained Biden. It's their fault. How many trillion? What is it? Anybody have a number? Anybody have a guess? How many trillions of dollars that Biden has done in 1 year since he's been in office? Because I know it's at least 5. I'm sorry. Free and no limit money? You mean I can't have that anymore? Well, you're supposed to be on top of this, Fed chairman. I'm supposed to be able to spend $5 trillion in a year and just act like it was nothing. Why are prices going up? I don't understand this. You must not be doing your job. What fucking idiot. Aaron Rodgers is in the news. He's slamming Biden for a fake White House. I hope it's not the same story as the set. Remember there was a set of a White House or whatever? He slammed President Biden's fake White House after the president criticized him for choosing not to get the shot. Biden made the comment last month while touring tornado damage in Kentucky, telling Green Bay Packer fan that Rodgers needed to get that jab. When the president of the United States says this is a pandemic and of the unshotted, it's because him and his constituents, which I don't know how they are any if you watch any of his attempts at public speaking or mine, but I guess he got 81 million votes. Rodgers told ESPN. Oh. I'm going to have to start watching football again, at least the Green Bay Packers. Citing a recent Center for Disease Control and Prevention announcement that revealed 75% of shotted adults who died of it, actually contracting, had at least 4 comorbidity. I can't, you know what the word is. Rodgers argued it's obvious that the vaccine can't, he argued this, that it might not be able to protect things. Yet that's what Biden is telling the public, he said. Well, I asked some people. I was on a Discord call a while back, a new group I'd never talked to, right? And they were talking about the vaccine. And I brought up the fact that I have friends who have gotten it and still got sick. And then, it was all of a sudden, all these talking points, boom, from all directions until one of them, kind of broke away from the pack and he became the one to talk. But apparently, it was never about preventing it. It was always about making it livable, okay? It doesn't protect you from getting it. It only makes it more likely that you will live if you do get it. Good. I'm heading out to the gym. All right, man. Simplify to you too. I don't know if I can use that. Hopefully I can. If not, I'm sorry. Have a great night. Thank you for being here, Irish. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon. How about Biden's hot mic calling a Fox reporter a stupid son of a bitch? How about Biden? And I did not. I was late on this one. How about Biden saying, yes, I agree. Let's go, Brandon. Fucking love that. And I have a lot of work to do on stuff. If I do come around to redoing the intro to the evening catch up, that's going to be the last clip right before I come on. That will absolutely be the last clip right before I come on. All right. Is it for me. I am out of here. Thank you so much for being here for an hour and 20 minutes. I will be back again at the very least next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. Please check my Discord. I believe the link still works in the descriptions down below. I will be posting a photo of me at my highest weight with my baby daughter at the time, who is now 20 years old. She's going to be 21 in April. But she was a newborn baby then. And she's so cute. Anyway, I will post that up on the general. I probably won't leave it up too long because I am still a little self-conscious about it. But if you are on my Discord or you go there, I will leave it up for 24 hours on general, and I'll add everybody. Hopefully you don't get mad at me for adding everybody. I try not to do that very often. So he has dementia. Why were we ever? Yeah. Biden. It's just funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad at the same time, but it's also very serious. It's all three. It's absolutely terrifying as a U.S. citizen. Like, we're going to get killed. Well, nice to meet you too, Amanda. I appreciate you. Sorry that I don't have an actual set schedule of this yet. I was doing it every night, but I got in a lot of YouTube trouble. I got my one channel deleted, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. And we had a fun time taking a break. And I have a lot of work to do. Plus, I might be starting a new job. So I think once a week here, and then we'll do the Friday nights over on the Green Dragon. And that's a panel discussion, right? Everybody's welcomed in there. And we all talk about whatever we want to talk about. And that conversation, it's not structured. Usually I'll try to have a topic to start, and I'll try to bring the conversation back to that topic. But it really is, it's just a bullshit sesh. Friday nights, just get around, get either drunk or high, or just hang out and bullshit about stuff that we hate. Anyway, I don't even remember my sign off. Check out all the links down in the descriptions below if you want to check out all the places to follow me, all the ways to donate to the channel if you want. Still doing the 50% to Irish USMC vets, Rally Point Irish. If you do decide to donate to the channel, which I do appreciate, thank you if you're even thinking about doing that. But if you do, 50% does go to Rally Point Irish, which is in the causes I believe in and support down there. Thank you for the subscription, Amanda. Thank you very much. So all those links are down there if you want to do that. But 50% does go to Rally Point Irish. My friend, Irish USMC vet, he's trying to start a location in Tennessee where vets can live and eat room and board free while learning new skills. Like, it's kind of like a trade school-ish kind of style, right? And he's already got people lining up to be instructors. I know Nugs wants to be one of the instructors if he ever pulls that off. So we just donate 50% of whatever my channel brings in to that cause, because I would love to see it done. Anyway, I don't really have a time that I'll be on next, but I hope to see you soon. Please check the Discord. I will let you all know there, and I am going to be trying to be more active on my Discord. I'm setting up my Discord. I did it a little bit today. I'm setting it up so that I'll be able to talk to you guys without getting inundated with so many @ mentions. It's just overwhelming at a while. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you very much. Peace.